Now, this is the Caldwell plan built by Pulte Homes. It's just over 3,400 square feet. It has 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, and we're gonna go room by room in detail here to show you what you can get for under $560,000 in Liberty Hill, Texas. Now keep in mind, that's just the list price. For incentives and more details on what's going on around this area, reach out to me. But before we even get there, walk with me as we go through this home tour of the Caldwell plan. Now, as you can tell, this home is finished. There might just be some light touch-ups that are needed in different areas, but mostly finished. And the upgrades that you're seeing, like this fireplace, the media room upstairs, different things throughout the home that I'm gonna call out, that's exactly what they put into this home, and I'm gonna walk you through as many of those upgrades as I can. Now, my name is Raj Sahu. I am a realtor here in Austin, Texas, and I've represented clients with 20 different builders. So I'm gonna give you the perspective of walking these homes with dozens and dozens of buyers. Starting here in the kitchen, what people tell me about this Caldwell plan is around this price point, you're getting a lot of square footage and you're getting a huge kitchen island. I think that's what Pulte's done really well here, where they kept a little bit of this side cut off so you can maybe put like a bar stool around this side, bar stools around this kitchen island, but still keep that walkway open going into your living room. Now they did a 5-burner gas stovetop, and then they ran this kitchen backsplash all the way up following the vent hood. And one thing to keep in mind is if you're not in love with these upgrades, you can build from scratch. I have a client who built a Lawson plan with Pulte Homes, and they were able to pick the countertops and kitchen backsplash and the tile in their primary bathroom. They don't do that in all of their inventory homes, and I guess you could say they weren't technically building from scratch, but by picking the countertops, picking the tile, they were able to fall in love with a lot of the items that Pulte offered at the design studio, and most importantly, the plan that they got, the square footage, the price point, everything about it was great. And they're going to be closing in a couple months, so I will be detailing their home on my main channel, so stay tuned for that. This would be the area of where the refrigerator would be located. We're going to take a quick look at the pantry. And by the way, there's still a lot to see here. I'm going to walk outside, show you the patio. I'm going to talk about the section that we're in Santa Rita Ranch, which is called Saddleback. It's the section of the community that we're in. And by the way, if you thought that pantry was small, they do have this area as kind of like a second pantry that is right off of the kitchen. When I say right off of the kitchen is there. And while we're over here, I want to just show you the mud bench, because we do have a 2-car garage that's accessible from here. So they have a built-in mud bench with some coat hangers. And then this would be that 2-car garage. Now, a little bit of storage in here. Not a whole lot, but more than what I've seen elsewhere, where you have this little bit of a nook that you could put some storage in that area. As we enter in through the garage entry, again, that was kind of like that second pantry that we already saw, and then this would be the utility room. Now, we're gonna head back out to the living room, and then I'm gonna show you the patio and the breakfast nook area. We will get back to the front of the home, so if you are interested in building this home from scratch, there are structural upgrades that we can do over there in the flex area. I'll describe all that to you. But while we're here in the main living area, you might see we're in a cul-de-sac, so a little bit more it's definitely a different backyard from what we're accustomed to seeing. And not a lot of homes at this price point that have this fireplace. Now, as we always say with fireplaces, you're not always going to get like the heat that you want from the higher fireplace. It's not made to heat the room. It will emit heat in a lot of cases, but it's really here for design, right? And I think you can see that with that stonework around that fireplace. Now, for my client that is building the Lawson plan, oh, by the way, there is an electrical outlet there just for a TV. So if you can imagine having your sofa right here, you could put a TV on that side, but if you wanted to put it up on that fireplace, you could do that as well. For my clients building the Lawson plan in a different community with Pulte, they couldn't get the fireplace in. So it was too late for that. The home was already under construction. They can't just do a gas run out. Not too many production builders will do that. But we have a third-party vendor that's quoting us after closing to put that in. Because for some of these fireplaces, usually that would just be a wall there and then they can just build around it. And it's not difficult to do. The difficult part is obviously running gas. What's interesting about this specific home is gas is right here for a gas stub out. So if you want to put a grill here, you can do that. And then there's actually hot and cold there for a sink. I think that's really made that if you want to like build off of that and kind of put your grill there, you could do that. But for my clients, their gas stub out was a little bit farther away from their living room wall where they would put the fireplace. So they just decided, they're just gonna do an electrical fireplace. They agreed it's really just for aesthetics. Some of those electrical fireplaces actually do provide, I'm gonna give that gentleman some privacy, by the way, that's working on the exterior of the home next door. But some of those electrical fireplaces do emit some heat, depends on which one you get. But again, just like kind of gas, it's not made to heat the room, and not that that's needed here in Texas, especially outside of Austin, Texas, where we do get some cold days. I believe last time I checked, it was 9 freezing days through the year. Don't quote me on that. You can easily Google it and find it out. But yeah, not really needed, but mostly for aesthetics. Now, one thing I want to point out, when I was there showing you where the couch would be, they actually have a floor outlet there. I think that's great. That way, if you have recliners in here, or you need to just plug in your laptop if you're working on the couch, or if you just need to charge your phone, that's great to have, not something you want to do after closing. Now, this is going to be a look at the primary bedrooms. I mentioned there were upgrades in the home. This is going to definitely be one of them. This is a structural upgrade called the bay window option. What that does is it adds a curve to the back of the wall here, and it adds a 4th window. So normally this would be a straight wall with 3 windows. I think this makes a big difference, especially in an area that you're going to be using every day, your primary bedroom, waking up to that, getting in more natural light. I do think that's important. It does add a little bit of square footage, but it's minimal. I really think it's mostly for the natural light coming in and making that room feel bigger, which I think it does. Makes more of a difference than you think. And then this is going to be a primary bathroom, of course, right off of the primary bedroom. And while we're in here, talk a little bit about the community that we're in called Santa Rita Ranch. It's a community I feature a lot on my channel just because I get a lot of positive feedback from clients who have moved in here. And I had 11 clients move in here in 2023 alone, probably do even more than that in 2024. And it's because what people say they want is they want a lively, active neighborhood that they can go out to where they have a lot of options to build. They're building 10,000 homes in this community. It's one of the largest communities in Texas. It's the top selling community in the Austin metro area. And it's got a lot of options. So if you need new build options, you're looking at a good price point where you don't have to battle with other buyers to get in, Santa Rita Ranch is definitely one of those communities where you'll have a lot to choose from. Now, the big advantage though is going to be how lively and active it is. When I say lively and active, they literally have somebody who works at the HOA called the Director of Fun. That's literally their job title. And they just plan events all year round in the community. And I don't mean just events like, here's a food truck, have fun. I mean, during the holidays, they brought in fake snow and they allowed kids to, or adults, to tube down that fake snow. And it was amazing. They lit up a tree in the community, which I thought was great. And a lot of fun activities, non-denominational. You know, it's open to everybody, and that's what I hear from a lot of homeowners. It just feels very open for everybody to move in here, and that's always good where, you know, when you're moving from out of state, you want to feel welcome, and I think a lot of people say they definitely feel welcome in this community. And then we have on-site amenities. So they have a 3rd amenity center getting built out, and they doubled the acreage at that amenity center compared to the already large amenity center that's in place on the northern side of the neighborhood. So on the northern side of the neighborhood, it's built on 4 acres. Their newest amenity center is going to be built on 8 acres and have 3 different pools. And wherever you are in Santa Rita Ranch, other than the 55 plus section, you really should have access to all the amenity centers except the 55 plus section that's in the back of the neighborhood. Obviously, they want to keep that private to whoever's in that section. Now, moving on, we're going to talk a little bit more about Liberty Hill and what's going on here later on in the video. This is going to be the flex area that I wanted to focus in on because there is an upgrade there that we can do that would either upgrade that to a study, or we could put a second bedroom downstairs there, and that would make this a 5-bedroom home with 2 bedrooms downstairs. By the way, there's also an upgrade to put a bedroom upstairs, which would actually make this a 6-bedroom home. So if that's what you need, it is possible. And if you really want that second bedroom down, which I've heard is very important for some people who have parents staying with them, they don't want them going up and down the steps. Again, you do have that option. And then there would be pretty much a doorway to get into this bedroom here, so be a little bit more private. If you do a study, I believe the door is out here, just a little bit more open, and then there wouldn't be a closet inside this room if you do a study. And that's based on what I remember. A lot of different upgrades with different builders. They do change these over time. So obviously, double check everything I'm saying with a builder. Definitely bring on a realtor that can give you an unbiased perspective and get that information before you make a buying decision. Now, what I'm showing you out here is a lot of construction. It doesn't look pretty, right? Pouring concrete out there. There's a lot going on. There's pickup trucks everywhere. And for some people, it makes it difficult for them to understand what this community would feel like. And to be frank, it doesn't feel like a community when we're in a section like this that is just getting started. When I say just getting started, they started selling here in late 2023 with GFO, and then Pulte came on. And with Pulte, I was just talking to the builder agent. They had 62 closings over the last 2 to 3 months, and they have about 10 to 15 closings every month. That's at least what they're averaging right now. So that's a lot of homeowners moving into the community. And so my point in sharing that with you is it's not like homes are just being built here and then sitting for months and months and 1 or 2 people move into the community every month. It's not like that. One builder in this section that has 2 builders has plenty of people moving in. And that's where when I see all those trucks and all this construction, and it kind of looks like a war zone in here, that's opportunity. And I think if you're looking at good prices, good monthly payments, which we're going to talk about in a second, that's opportunity right here in Santa Rita Ranch. To get into this community and get square footage in the mid 3,000s, and we're under 560,000, I think we're starting to talk about a good opportunity. Again, it depends on your criteria, and that's what I always tell people. I don't always say, this is a great price, so you should buy it. I need to know more about what you like and don't like, right? Because everybody's criteria is different, and therefore everybody gets a different recommendation. But why I'm going to continue coming back to this section is I do think there's opportunity here as this community, and this section is selling well. It will look and feel very different a year from now. And for a lot of buyers that can't imagine what that will look like and therefore won't buy, that tells me there's opportunity. Now, we just went through one of the bedrooms that's just at the top of the stairwell. It has an in-suite full bathroom, as you saw there, and there'll be another full bathroom, a couple more bedrooms that we'll go through. But I want to show you this game room. This game room's huge. It's a good size. It looks off the front of the home, and this gives you a beautiful view. Now, how much of that view is going to be left when they put houses there? Well, you can kind of tell there's some houses right next door that are already built out, but at least you can kind of see down that street, and I don't see why that would change, but of course we'd have to figure out what's going in that direction. You never know, right? But that's beautiful here in Liberty Hill. There is some topography in Liberty Hill. It's just in different parts of this suburb. And that's where I think getting into a good community in a fast-growing suburb it's an interesting opportunity. And I'll talk about that in a second, but I wanted to show you there's good closet space here. This is what a lot of clients reach out to me and realize how important this is, because we don't have basements here for a lot of people moving from up north that get these big basements. We don't really have that. And that's where having storage space is really important. And then I have a lot of clients reach out to me. They live in the West Coast and they're looking for more space. So they don't want to have space and then it's just used up for storage. They want to be able to enjoy that space. So I think that closet and that huge game room is great. And we did look at this right when we walked in through the front door. We are open to the second story in this home right when you first walk in. And that's a builder grade light fixture. Keep in mind, they don't like to do risky stuff with chandeliers. Chandeliers can get broken during the construction phase. And if it's a really nice chandelier, that's obviously a huge problem. So for that reason, a lot of builders just put in, whatever their builder grade standard light fixture is, knowing that if clients don't like it, they can easily fix it out, right? It's just a simple change. At the end of the day, you really just need blocking. And if there's a chandelier already there, there's some level of blocking that's in there to hang a chandelier. The question is how many pounds can it hold? And that's where we would have to talk to the construction manager and get their green light on how much weight can that hold. Here's also a good amount of closet space in this bedroom. And then we have a hall closet. I won't show you. It's usually like a linen closet. This one is not a linen closet. It's big. Another good space for storage. And look, this is typical Pulte, right? They are a big nationwide builder. This isn't their first rodeo in building homes, so they know how to build homes and get square footage in here, and that's exactly what they do well. You'll see that again here in this bedroom. In these cul-de-sacs, you get an awkward shaped lot, and that was that corner. This is the side yard that you get, but you also get, a little bit more privacy just because of how it's shaped. You can kind of look out. I can always pull up a map of exactly what's being built back there and show you, but your side home is not exactly parallel with you, and that sometimes can be nice. I have a client who's closing actually in Santa Rita Ranch tomorrow, and they built on a northeast facing cul-de-sac lot. And what's funny is those were 60-foot wide lots. So 60-foot wide lots, you can generally speaking build up to around 3,900 square feet. And with that builder, this is back in 2023 when interest rates were high. There was still a lot of fear in the market. The stock market was not roaring like it was like it is now in 2024. At that time, I was telling my client, this is going to sound like the opposite of what you're hearing in the news, which is the news is telling you, don't buy, the market's pulling back and there's a lot of supply. And a lot of that's true. I mean, generally speaking, that's true, but real estate's very local and different communities react differently in every single market. And what I told them is the builder we were looking at had a backlog of a lot of buyers. So they didn't have lots for about 4 to 5 months. And I knew they had a really big interest list. And I knew for sure that the builder agent who I have a good relationship with, and that's where relationships matter, that he wasn't bluffing, that they had people that were gonna buy right away. So we prepared to put in a deposit right after midnight, literally at 12:01 a.m., right when they open up those lots. Because if we didn't, somebody else would. And by the way, we're in this media room, which is huge. To get this just over $500,000 for your price point in a community like this, I think it's really interesting. They have some electrical already in here for like a projector where you could project onto that screen. Although I don't know if I'd do a projector. I think a lot of people just say TVs are so inexpensive right now. I think you just put a TV up on this wall, and that way you can wrap this wall with couches. But what I'm saying is my client ended up, and to kind of finish that story, they put in their deposit at 12:01 a.m. on a northeast facing cul-de-sac. They were the first person to contract. And at 3:30 in the morning, literally 3.5 hours later, we got an email from the builder back to us saying, congratulations, 6 other people contracted right after you. 4 of them were on north facing lots, and all 4 of those people wanted your lot because it was by far the biggest, it was on the cul-de-sac, and it was northeast facing. And so we were so excited to hear that. I thought maybe 2 people would buy after us, not 6. I was not expecting that, but wow, we're so glad we did. We're actually closing tomorrow on a great lot. And that's exactly what I can do for you. So this is what I mean by providing value. It's not just understanding the options. That's why I make a lot of these videos, is I'm in these communities and I'm going out to these different builders to understand what their options are. What do their kitchens look like? What are the upgrades that they're putting in? What are the lots that they're building on to get opportunities to you? Because before homes like this hit the market, if I think it's a good opportunity, even just on building from scratch or buying a home, I can get us to the front of the line with most builders and most opportunities that are out there. So if you need help with that, you want to understand what your options are, you want an unbiased perspective, reach out to me. My number's at the bottom of the description of this video. And then if you want more homes for sale, go ahead and click on my website. It's at the top of the description of this video. And finally, if you want to see another home in Santa Rita Ranch, go ahead and click right here. And as always, hope this helps. Take care, everyone.